Hello and welcome to our fifth lesson on electricity. I'm your presenter, Alex Nkumbi. Okay, so right away let us go through our lesson outcomes. So in this lesson we'll be looking at the following. You should be able to define an electrical circuit. You will be able to draw symbols of common circuit components. You will distinguish between series and parallel circuits, and then you'll be able to carry out calculations involving series and parallel circuits. Then, like always, you will do an exercise at the end of this lesson, which is from a past paper. Okay, so let us go to our first outcome, which is looking at an electrical circuit. Okay, so an electrical circuit can be simply defined as a complete path through which an electric current flows. Okay, so an electric current, for it to be able to flow, it needs a complete path. So that complete path through which an electrical current passes through is what we call an electrical circuit. And we said that we should be able to look at some of the common symbols of components in electrical circuits, and I should be able to announce here that some of the components we already looked at them. For example, a resistor, we looked at the resistor when we were discussing resistance. We looked at a voltmeter, we looked at a variable resistor which is called a rheostat. So some of those symbols we already looked at them, but here are some of the common symbols that we are likely to meet in our study of electrical circuits. So a line like this one simply represents connecting wire. Okay, then a line and another one meeting at a point with a dot like that represents wires joined. So that's a junction there. So the two wires are joined. Then wires like this represent wires crossing each other, so they are not joined. Okay, so there is a difference between this arrangement and this arrangement. Okay, then this is a cell where the longer part is the positive terminal and the shorter part is the negative terminal. Then this is a battery, which is a combination of cells. So a battery is made up of two or more cells. So this is a cell and that's a cell. Now the dashed lines indicate that there are many other cells between the two. Okay, there could be many other cells between the two. So this is a battery, and then this is a symbol of a switch. This is an ammeter, okay, with a positive indicated because an ammeter has a positive and a negative. Then we have a lamp or electrical bulb, which can be shown in this way, or simply a circle with a cross. So these are some of the common symbols we are likely to meet in electrical circuits. So from here we said we should be able to define an electrical circuit, which we have done. We have said it's a complete path through which an electric current flows or passes. Then we have seen some of the symbols of common circuit components. Now we go to look at series circuits. Okay, so we are on series circuits. Now when components in a series are when components in a circuit are connected in series, it simply means that current flows in only one path through the components. Okay, so that's the meaning of series. So series means that when current is flowing through the components, it will pass only through one path. It has no alternative path through which to pass. So as you can see, this is a battery here, and which provides an EMF given by the letter V, and the current originates from the positive terminal of the battery. So as it originates from the battery, it will first pass through resistor 1, then the same current will pass through resistor 2, then it will pass through resistor 3, and then it will go back to the battery. So there is only one path through which current passes as it passes through these three components, R1, R2, R3, where these are representing resistors. So since there is only one path for current to pass through, we can therefore say that the value of current from the battery, which is I, is equal to the value of current that is passing through resistor 1, which is I1. The current that will come from the battery is the same current that will pass through resistor 1 here, that's I1, and it is the same current that will pass through resistor 2, which is I2, and it is the same current that will pass through resistor 3, I3, and it will be equal to many other, if there were many other resistors connected in series, then the same current was going to pass through them. So that's the meaning of this mathematical expression here. Okay, now when it comes to potential difference across these three resistors or many components connected in series, when we were talking about definition of electromotive force and potential difference, so that we could understand the difference, we said one of the ways in which we can define electromotive force is that it is the sum of all the potential differences in a circuit. So like in this particular case, the EMF is the total voltage provided by the battery here, but the voltage across R1 is V1. It is the potential difference across R1. The voltage across R2 is V2. That's the potential difference across R2. The potential difference, the voltage across R3 is V3. That's the potential difference across R3. Now, if we added this V1, voltage 1, we added it to voltage 2 and then voltage 3, or in simple terms, if we found the sum of the potential differences of these three resistors, we are going to come up with the EMF, or the total voltage of the battery. So that's the meaning of the expression here, to say V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus, if there were many other components connected, let's say if there were 4 or 5, just like that. So in short, we can say when components are connected in series, they share the total voltage. So the total voltage of the battery V is shared among these resistors. And how they share this potential EMF depends on their sizes. The resistor with the greatest resistance will get the greatest EMF, potential difference, followed by another one that follows it in size, just like that. Okay, so that is how EMF, or total voltage provided by the battery, is related to the individual individual potential differences of each component across a circuit when they are connected in series. Okay, so from here we can come up with a relationship. We know that let's look at this. We know that voltage is given by IR. Okay, that is what we learned from Ohm's law. So since we know that voltage is IR, and in that equation we have just seen that V is equal to V1 and then plus V2 and then plus V3. Okay, so and then we know that V is equal to IR. So what we are going to do, where there is V, we replace it by IR. So we are going to have, since V simply means total voltage or the EMF of the circuit of the battery, so V is IR is equal to, now here instead of saying V1, because we know that V1 is, and in this circuit we are just from saying that the potential difference will be the same. Sorry, we have said the current will be the same. So V1 Instead of saying V1, we will say I. Since I doesn't change in series, it will be the same, but R will be different because that's R1. So that this is representing the potential difference across the resistor 1. Then this is added to, instead of saying V2 here, we are going to say I R2. As you can see, we have maintained I because I is the same. Okay, then this is added to, instead of saying V3, again we shall say I R3. Okay, now if you look at this expression, you discover that there is one thing that is common. So I is common, so we can divide this expression by I, and once we get rid of I, it means here we get rid of this I, we get rid of this I, we get rid of this I, and that I. In short, it's like in the top part we had factorized I out, so when we divide it with the denominator, we are going to arrive at R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. If the resistors were many, let's say they were 4, we're also going to have plus R4, just like that, or if they were, depending on the number that we have. Okay, so this becomes our expression for finding the total for finding the total resistance for components that are connected when components are connected in series. Okay, so let's move and look and go back to our work. So what I'm saying is, from here we can conclude from what we have seen that the total resistance for components connected in series R is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus, if there were many, just like that. So using this idea, let's look at this example. So we have an example here. It says, in the example above, A, calculate the total resistance in the figure above, and B, the current through the circuit. Okay, so we have a circuit here where we didn't indicate there was supposed to be 12 volts there. Here the battery had 12 volts. Okay, so I'll show it in the when we are answering. Here it's supposed to have 12 volts. So we are supposed to find, first of all, the total resistance of the circuit, then B, the current through the circuit. Okay, so let's study our circuit. Our circuit has the total voltage of 12 volts, and it has the resistor 1 with 2 ohms and resistor 2 with 4 ohms. The two questions are, A, calculate the total resistance, then B, the current through the circuit. So let's see how we can answer this question. Okay, let's create more space by rubbing off some of the work here. Okay, so let's see how we can answer that question. Okay, so our circuit was supposed to be like this. It has the first, sorry, that's a mistake. It has a battery first of all. It has a battery here, which is supposed to be 12 volts. Okay, it has a 12 volts battery and two resistors. Each resistor of the first resistor has the resistance of 2 ohms, then the second one has a resistance of 4 ohms. So here we have resistance of 4, here we have resistance of 2, and the battery has the voltage of 12 volts. Okay, so the first question is calculate the total resistance in the circuit. So from the equation that we just looked at for resistance, we can say resistance. The first thing is you state the equation you are using. Okay, so for A, we are answering part A now. So for A, we are going to have resistance is equal to R1, okay, because we are dealing with components connected in series, plus R2, and they are just the two of them, so no need for R3. So this is going to be, so the first resistor here has 2 ohms as its resistance, so you indicate 2 ohms plus the second resistance as a resistance of 4 ohms. Okay, and this is what gives us 6 ohms as the total resistance of our resistor. Okay, can go through. So we said the formula R is equal to R1 plus R2, where R is the total resistance. Then we are told the first resistor has a resistance of 2 ohms plus R2, which is the second resistor, has a resistance of 4 ohms. So we just add them and get our total resistance to be 6 ohms. The second question was saying calculate the current through the circuit. Okay, so current from our equation, V is equal to IR. Okay, when we make I the subject, or if you want, you can be using this triangle we discussed when we were looking at resistance, whereby we have V on top here. Okay, then here we have I, and there is R. So if you cover I, then it means I is equal to V over R. So, or you can make I the subject of the formula just in this equation. So I, which we are looking for, which is current in the circuit, is equal to V over R. Okay, then we substitute in our equation. The voltage of the battery is 12 volts. So this is going to be 12 volts divided by the total resistance, which we just found here to be 6 volts. Okay, and then this gives us 2, and remember the unit for current is amp, so don't forget to indicate your unit. Okay, so that's our second part of the question, example B, which is saying calculate the current through the circuit. So current is equal to V over R, just like we have calculated. Okay, so we have looked at series. We can now proceed and look at parallel. Okay, so we have answered this question as an example on series circuits where current passes only through one path. Okay, let us move a step now and look at parallel circuits. Okay, so in parallel circuits, current branches into multiple paths as it flows through components in a circuit. So in short, current does not have only one path through which to pass, but it has several alternatives or multiple. So as current originates from the battery, as you can see in this particular case, when it reaches this junction here, some of it will pass through resistor 1, some of it will pass through resistor 2, and some of it will pass through resistor 3. At the end, these three currents will meet here and sum up and go back to the battery as a total, and repeat the same procedure. So what we can see in parallel is that the current from the battery, which is I here, is equal to, since it will split up, so it is the sum of the current that will pass through resistor 1, resistor 2, and resistor 3. So that's what this mathematical expression is indicating here, that total current of the battery is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3, meaning the total current will split up into the individual currents that will pass through each resistor. So that's the meaning of this expression. Please take note that in series connection, current was the same. I is equal to I1, it is equal to I2, it is equal to I3. But in series and in parallel, we have seen that it is not the same. It's actually, total current is actually a sum of the individual currents through each component connected in parallel. Okay, then when we come to voltage, voltage in parallel does not change. The voltage of the battery, which is the EMF, is equal to the voltage that will be across R1, it will be equal to the voltage that will be across R2, and it will be equal to the voltage that will be across R3. So that's the meaning of this statement here. And how do we come up with the expression for finding total resistance if we use these two ideas? Okay, again, let's go to our blackboard and see what we can do. Okay, so we are going to use that expression for Ohm's law, which says V is equal to IR, and in that expression we know that in parallel the voltage is not the same. That's what I mean, the current is not the same. That's what we have seen, that the current is different. So we have an expression for current from Ohm's law, that current is equal to voltage over resistance. Okay, now we saw that the three components, each one of them had its own value of resistance, I mean of current, and the current can only be equal if all the three resistors shown in that case are of equal resistance. But if they are different, then each individual component or resistor will have its own value of current flowing through it. So we have this expression saying I1, I mean total current I is equal to I1, okay, added to I2, and then this is added to I3. Okay, so but we know that I is given by V over R, so we will replace wherever we see I, we put V over R. So for total current, it means it's total voltage over total resistance of the circuit is equal to, where we see I1, that will be voltage. Since voltage in the series, in parallel, we say it doesn't change, so it will still be voltage, which is total voltage over, but resistance will be R1, because each resistor has its own value, plus the current that will pass through resistor 2 will still be V, because V remains the same, which is voltage, but resistance in that case is R2. Okay, then plus current passing through resistor 3, it is still V over, but resistance will be R3. Okay, so once you come up with this expression, you realize that there is one thing that is common, which is 1 over, which is V. So we can factorize it. Okay, so if we factor V out, we have V here. Then what is going to remain is that here we are going to have 1 over R is equal to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over R3. Okay, then if we want, now we can multiply the whole expression by 1 over V. So when we multiply by 1 over V, it means this V and that V would divide, giving us 1 over R, which means 1 over total resistance is equal to 1 over resistance 1 plus 1 over resistance 2 plus 1 over resistance 3. So this becomes our equation for finding the total resistance for components connected in parallel. Okay, so this is what we'll be using when we have components connected in parallel. When finding the total resistance, this is what we are going to be using. Okay, but I will very soon show you a shortcut when we are dealing with only two resistors, a shortcut for the same form here. Okay, so we go back to our work. So this is where this equation came from. Okay, now let's proceed and look at an example. Okay, so we have example here on parallel circuits. So we have a 24 volts battery connected in parallel to a network of parallel resistors. It is connected to a network of parallel resistors. We have two resistors connected in parallel. This one is 6 ohms and the other one is 12 ohms. So in the circuit shown above, calculate the effective resistance of the circuit. Take note, the term effective is another way of saying total. So when we ask you to find the effective resistance of the circuit, it's the same as asking you to find the effective resistance. So when we say effective, it simply means total resistance. Then B, the current through the battery. Okay, so let us go to our blackboard and do the work. Let's create space first. Remember the equation we came up with. Since this time we are dealing with only two resistors, we will not use the whole lot of the equation, but we will use it in its simple form. Okay, so we have two resistors that are connected in parallel. One is a 6 ohm resistor and the other one is a 4 ohm resistor, and they are connected to a 24 volts battery. Maybe let me draw the circuit so that we keep referring to it. So this is our battery here, the 24 volts battery. Okay, and this battery is connected to one resistor that is 4 ohms, and then to another one here, the one below is the 6 ohm resistor. So that's the circuit we have, like that. Then this is 24 volts, then we have there 4 ohms, and here we have 6 ohms. Okay, so the first question is calculate the total resistance. Okay, so like I told you, for two resistors only, you don't need to go by the whole equation. 1 over R1 is equal to 1 over R2, but we can simplify it in its simple form, and we can use it in its simple form and say total resistance of the two resistors in parallel is equal to, if the first one on top we call it R1 and the second one we call it R2, then we can say R1 multiplied by R2, okay, over R1 plus R2. Please take note, this works only for two resistors, not for three resistors or more. It can only work out for two resistors. So the first one is 4 ohms, so you just say 4 ohms multiplied by 6 ohms. This one is divided by 4 ohms added to 6 ohms. So on top you multiply and below you add. Okay, so 4 by 6, that gives us 24. Okay, over, then this 4 plus 6 gives us 10. Okay, so when we divide, in fact you should know this is ohm by ohm, which is ohm squared, then ohm plus ohm, that is ohm, but that one is well taken care of. So 10 into this one, we get 2.4. okay, so we go through again. We have two resistors. One is, let's just go through to verify if that is true or no. It is 12 volts actually and 6 volts, and not the other way. Okay, so allow me to make changes here. Okay, in fact I should have maintained that one, because it was just an equation. Okay, so the two resistors are, this one is, the one on top is 6 volts, 6 ohms, then the one below is, so this one is 6 actually, and this one is 12. Okay, so using the equation, R is equal to R1 by R2 over R1 plus R2. Okay, so this is equal to 6 multiplied by 12, and then you divide this by adding the 2 again, 6 plus 12. Okay, so this will give us 6 by 12, that is 72. Okay, and then we divide this 6 plus 12, that is 18. Okay, so what is 18 into 72? So 18 into 36 is 2, so there are 2 36s in 72, so this gives us 4. Excuse, let's just prove if that's true. So 18 multiplied by 4, so 8 by 4, that is 20, that is 16, that's 32. So 2, we carry 3. Then 4 by 1, that is what did I say? 4 by this one, 4 by this is 32, so 3, so 7 here when we have that one. Okay, so it's 4. So the answer is actually 4 ohms. Okay, so 4 ohms is the total resistance for our two circuits, for our two resistors when we combine them. Then we go to part B. Part B was asking us to find the current through the circuit. Okay, so current through the circuit is given by I is equal to V over R. Okay, so this becomes equal to V is 24 volts, so we have 24 volts, which is the total voltage, divided by resistance, and resistance we have found is 4 ohms. Okay, so this gives us 4 into 24, that is 6, and don't forget the unit for current, amps. Okay, so that is our work for the, those are the solutions for the equation, for the question on parallel resistance. A, the effective resistance, which is total, and then B, the current through the battery. Current through the battery is simply the total current in the circuit. Okay, now let us look at an idea of combining the two, series and parallel. So let us look at this example, combination of series and parallel. So study the circuit diagram and answer the questions. So we have this arrangement here. We have a 9 volts battery, and this 9 volts battery is connected to an ammeter, as you can see, in series. And then there is this 2 ohm resistor, and then there are these two ohm resistors. So the reason why we are saying this is actually a combination is because if we thought of the resistance of these two parallel resistors here as one, if we found their total, then their total is in series with this one. So these two, quite alright, they are in parallel with each other, but their total resistance is in series with this one. So this is a combination. Okay, so let's look at the questions. We have, maybe we do this so that we, okay, can't allow. So let's just proceed. We will make sure that we remember these questions. Calculate the total resistance, then what is the reading on the ammeter, calculate the current through one of the 2 ohm resistors on the parallel network. Okay, so let us go to our board and answer these questions. Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll just create space here. We will just manipulate this and remove the voltage there, because what we have is 9 volts here, 9 volts, and here again we are going to remove this, because what is here is 2, even here it's 2. Okay, so we have 2 ohm resistance there, even here we have 2 ohm resistance, so 2 and 2 here, and we have another resistor here which is also a 2 ohm resistor. Okay, like that. Let me just show it properly. Okay, we have another one there which is also a 2 ohm resistor. Okay, then let's create more space now where we are going to do the work by rubbing off some of this we have already done. Okay, so what's our first question? Our first question is to calculate the effective resistance. Oh, the other part is here. There's an ammeter there. There's an ammeter here given by its symbol, which we discussed already in the common symbols for electrical circuits, like that. Okay, so A, calculate the effective resistance or calculate the total resistance of the circuit. Just to be sure, let's go to our work and see if that's what it says. Okay, so it says calculate the total resistance of the circuit. So the first question is to calculate the total resistance of this circuit. So we have 2, 2, 2. So like I said, this resistor here, so we are going to say total resistance is equal to, now this resistor, let's call it R1, let's call this R2, let's call this R3. So it's going to be R1. Now R1 is in series with a total of this, so we are simply going to add it. But then we know that these two, they are total, they are in parallel to each other, so we are going to use that formula where we are going to say, if this is R2, then we'll say R2 multiplied by the other one below here is R3, so we'll say R3, then we divide this by R2 plus R3. So simply what we are doing here is, first of all, we find what is the total resistance here for the two parallel, then their total we add it to this one. So that's what we are doing. So R1 is 2 ohms, so this is equal to 2 ohms, okay, plus, now those two you find their total, it will be 2 multiplied by 2, because they are equal, it's 2 and 2, over 2 plus 2, okay, and this is ohms. Okay, so this is equal to 2 plus, okay, so here 2 multiplied by 2 is 4 and 2 plus 2 is 4, so 4 over 4 is going to give us 1. Okay, so the resistance of the two parallel resistors is actually 1 ohm. Okay, so from here we get the total of 3 ohms. Okay, so that's our answer there, 3 ohms for the total. Then we go to part B, that's total resistance we have found there. Part B was asking us to find the reading on the ammeter, I'm sure. Okay, where is it? B, yeah, it was asking us to find the reading on the ammeter. So let's go to part B now. Come on. Okay, then let me remove this. Okay, so part B, what is the reading on the ammeter? Okay, so we know that an ammeter here reads current, and from where it is positioned you can see that it will read the total current, because current will come from the battery through the positive terminal, pass through the ammeter before it flows through any one of these components. Even if this ammeter was connected here, it was going still to read the total current. Even if it was connected here or here, it will read the total current. But if it is connected here, it means it is reading the current only through here, this arm, or through this path if it is connected here. Okay, so we know that from where the ammeter is connected, it is reading the total current. So we are going to say I is equal to V over R. So this is going to be V. So voltage of the battery, since we are finding total current, so we should use total voltage, which is provided by the battery, or simply the EMF. So the EMF is 9 volts. So we'll divide this by the total resistance, since we want total current, and we have just found that the total resistance is 3 ohms. Okay, so this gives us 3 amps. Okay, so that gives us the total current or the reading on the ammeter. Then C, the question C was asking us to calculate the current through any one of these 2 ohm resistors on the parallel network, either this one or that one. Now it doesn't matter because these two are equal in size, so it doesn't matter if we find for this one or for the other one. Okay, now it is interesting here because we already know what the total current is. It is 3 amps. So as these 3 amps current come, it will pass through the 2 ohm resistor. It will still be 3 here, but when it reaches this junction, some of it will go through this one, some of it will go through this. Now since these 2 resistors are equal in size, so it means that they will share this current equally. So there is no need for us to stress here. We will simply say it is that 3 amps given, or in short, for us to appear to know what we are doing, instead of just dividing numbers, we can say I, let's say we decide to find the one that will pass through resistor 2, which is this one. So I2 will be equal to I, which is the total current, okay, over 2, because they are equal, so you divide by 2. So this gives us 3 amps, which is the total current, divided by 2, and our answer is going to be 1.5 amps. Okay, so that's the answer for that part, 1.5. Let me write it properly so that you can see clearly that it is 1.5. okay, so our answer is going to be equal to 1.5 amps. Now what if the 2 resistors were different in size? Let's say this one was 4 ohms and then the other one was 2. So you can still divide the current. What you can do is you can use the formula. Let me create more space to give you that idea, hoping that you have understood the rest of this work, so I can rub. Okay, I'm imagining that this question where we are asked to find the current through one of the resistors on the parallel network. What if, because here it's simplified for us because these two are of equal resistance, so we simply say total current divided by 2 because these are equal. What if they were different? So if they were different, you can use the formula I is equal to, let's say we are finding for this one, we say I2. So I2 is equal to, now these two, since we said this is resistor 2, this is resistor 3, so you pick the resistor below, R2, okay, R3, sorry. So you don't pick the same resistor whose current you want to find. You pick this one to be the numerator. Then you divide by the sum of these two. So you get the resistance of this one, add it to this one directly, not nothing like parallel. No, you simply say R2 plus R3. Okay. Then whatever that you find here, you multiply it by the total current. Okay, and let's see how it can work if it can work even in this case we have here. So we would have said I2 is equal to resistance of the resistor below here is 2. Even if it was different, these two were of different values, this equation works all the time. So it's going to be 2 over, then addition of this one and this one, we know it's 2 plus 2. Okay, then this you multiply by total current. We found is it to be 3 amps. Okay, so this one was going to give us, this is 2 over 4. So 2 over 4 is 0.5. So 0.5 multiplied by 3 amps. And if you did that, it was going to give you 1.5 amps. Now the good thing about this equation is that it will work out even if the resistors were of different sizes. This idea of dividing by 2 is limited to a situation where the two resistors are of equal resistance, but this one works for every situation. Okay, so we have gone through our examples. Now let us see what follows. Okay, so we have just finished looking at how to answer a question when the resistors are in combination. That's parallel and series. Now I want you to do an exercise. This exercise was actually question 8, paper 1 of science for 2017 ECZ. Okay, this is the question that I want you to actually answer. Okay, so the question is here. It starts like this. Okay, so figure B8.1 shows 3 resistors connected to a 12 volts battery. So this is a 12 volts battery. We have a 2 ohm resistor here connected, and these are in parallel. There is a 12 ohm resistor and a 6 ohm resistor. So the first question, calculate the effective resistance between X and Y. Now in this question there was a mistake. X and Y were not shown. X is supposed to be here and Y is supposed to be here, so that when you say the effective resistance between X and Y, you are simply referring to the total resistance of the circuit. So that's the first question, and you can see it's 2 marks. This is a question like the ones we have looked at. This is just to show that what we are discussing is actually what comes in exam papers. Okay, then B, calculate the current flowing in the battery. So current flowing in the battery, you know that means total current. So you know how to do that one since we have discussed. You have found the total resistance, you are given the total voltage which is there. Now find the total current through the battery, and then from there, C, current through the 6 ohm resistor. Now this is a 6 ohm resistor. You have the total current. Now find the current flowing through here. Remember what I'm just from talking about a situation where we have resistors of different values. Now we want to find current flowing in this one only. Okay, and total marks 6 marks. So please attempt this question and make sure that you keep your work, because when schools open I am going to mark that work. Thank you so much for paying attention. Looking forward to meet you in our next lesson, and remember to be studying. Okay,
Nitro screen reader.
right, so let's go back to our work. Yeah.